Hello and welcome to Lifetime in Court, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
I'm Elena Nicolaou. I'm the culture editor of OprahMag.com, and I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah! Oprah, Oprah. This is amazing. You're like our biggest celebrity ever. You're basically Oprah to us.
I have met her, but unfortunately I didn't get any like Oprah pixie dust that I can give to people. I wish that was like a perk that I had as my job, but
well, not that you know of.
Not that I know of. You're right. It could be like a good contagious thing that I don't know about.
You got some Oprah magic just by seeing her.
That's true.
Person.
Exactly. Or at least you're like a Stedman, you know?
That's the goal, to be honest with you. I think that I'm living my life either to become a Stedman or in pursuit of a Stedman, just someone who can ride through life with me. So that's a good compliment.
Real quick, can you pull the thing away from your
shirt,
your body?
Yeah, there you go.
Shirt. There you go.
Perfect.
Sorry, it's rubbing, making sounds.
No, we are in the remote recording times. We don't have a fancy microphone that we could it just happens. You. So you're on your cool headphones with your like little mic. You know, I have one too actually on these headphones. This is the world we live in, guys. You know,
This is it.
I'm
not editing that out.
No, Drew doesn't edit anything out unless it's like totally terrible because we keep it real on this podcast. So
we're like a Lifetime movie. They keep it real too.
They do. They do. I love it. So we did an interview together last week, which went great. I would say like maybe my best date ever.
We were on the same page. It was great. Like I got to ask every question. You had to answer it, which was a really good date, I think, in my book.
We
were doing an interview because I'm fascinated by the Wrong franchise, and what better expert than someone who hosts a Lifetime podcast. And it was really, it's not making fun of the movies, but it really enjoys them. And that's how I feel about the movies too. So it's kind of a mixture. I think that's what these movies are designed for anyway, for like a spectator sport. So I was so excited to talk to you about them. And now we get to talk more about one. And I actually think this might be one of my favorites that I've seen so far. So I'm very excited.
Me too. And Drew doesn't know what we're covering. We didn't talk about it. Drew, we are doing The Wrong Wedding Planner.
Which the old Wrong series.
Yes, The Wrong series with Miss Vivica A Fox, of course. And this one was crazy. I mean, they understand what they're doing now. Like we have the beats of the movies, and Drew is very familiar because he is a stickler for like sticking to the rules. So he knows all the Lifetime rules, and especially for the Wrong series. Like Drew, what's your favorite thing about the Wrong series?
It's just my favorite thing about the Wrong series is like you get the villain right away. I mean, that's like my favorite. That's the thing that I love about Lifetime is there's no fucking, you just completely get the villain immediately by not just like watching the movie, of course, but by the title of the movie.
Exactly.
The wedding planner is probably the villain, I'm guessing, unless they threw a curveball.
Well, is she the wedding planner? Ooh.
Oh, is she even the wedding planner?
There you go.
God.
There you go.
There you go.
Before we jump into the movie, I forgot business time because I was so excited. So business time, everyone put on your suits and your business apparel.
Yeah, I got my top hat on, and
I got my
monocle.
I have a cummerbund and I have like a bow tie. It's going great. So
and a mask, and our masks are on.
Yeah, social distancing mask. Yes.
Social distancing.
So we have a lovely review on iTunes. So if you'd like to write a review, please write a 5-star review or whatever stars you're feeling, but include emojis because emojis are important, and that's how we communicate in the world. This is from Pocket TD.
Oh, hey, Pocket TD.
Which is a fun username.
Yeah, that's fun.
Their emoji use is on point. They have a pepper, which is for me, Serrano pepper. You get it.
That's correct.
Plus a teddy bear for Drew Bear.
That's me.
Plus a microphone, a pointy, a heart face with hearts all around it, and champagne glasses toasting.
Great.
That's the subject.
That's a whole sentence.
That's a whole thing.
And the review, it's a 5-star review, so thank you for that. It says, just do yourself a favor and tune in. They're hilarious. You've earned it. Done.
Yeah, we've earned it.
Yeah.
We made it.
We made it.
We've arrived.
Okay. Business time over. Everyone take off your business apparel.
Okay. Taking it off.
Thank you. Drew is completely naked now, so there's that. He's getting ready for his Lifetime movie, which, we always got to have a shirtless man.
Gotta have my shirt off, man.
So
in a bathtub or a shower or something.
Yes. The movie we're talking about today, The Wrong Wedding Planner, stars Vivica A. Fox, of course, Crystal Lowe. I liked her. She's a POC, a Canadian.
Good.
I think she's from Hong Kong. Oh, I should have had it in my notes ready to go. But I looked it up, and she came over from whatever country and then lives in Canada and now is an actress and living her best life.
Yeah, it looks like she was born in Vancouver and then moved to Hong Kong.
Oh.
And then
came back.
Came back. Yeah.
See. I do.
Oh, she won Miss Teen Oriental.
Ooh.
Which seems I don't
Maybe it's fine when they call themselves that.
Or if it's the style of things.
Sure. I don't know.
That might have been in the 80s or something too. We don't know when that pageant took place.
Right.
True. I hope they renamed. Also stars Kristin Booth. And very importantly, the most important besides Miss Vivica, of course, is Jackee Harry.
Uh-oh. Jackee's in this?
Yeah. And that's an automatic pour it up for me.
I mean, it kind of is. Yeah. It is.
I think there's someone else in the cast that we have to mention, which is Greg Sestero has a very small cameo, and Greg Sestero plays Mark in The Room. So to have it,
Greg Sestero,
to have him show up from the most iconic bad movie of all time, he'll elevate any bad movie into this big meta wink, which probably my heart raced so fast when he showed up. I can't even tell you.
Wait, I missed this completely. Who was he in the movie?
He was just the handyman. He was the guy
Yes.
And he's gotten a lot of work done, and his face is different, but it is Mark from The Room.
He was who we got the wrong shower scene where I was very angry that I didn't want to see his shower scene. I wanted to see someone else's. Wow, I can't believe that was him. He didn't look like himself at all.
No, it was the guy. No, it wasn't him. It was the guy. It was the shot where he's speaking through the fence, and the camera is through the fence. He's in a plaid shirt, and he's the handyman. He has 3 sentences, and he says that the wedding planner isn't who she said she was, that she moved out from the room. He's a landlord, maybe.
Oh,
so
my God.
He looks very old. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's also in this.
God.
Well, you should know that Drew and I were in The Room, the musical in Chicago.
Yeah, we wrote it. Did it.
Got to rewind for that. Mark.
And we also got a cease and desist from
Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau.
I don't think you're a Room fan unless that happens to you at some point, to be honest.
I think that was we're pretty, because we ran it for a while. We ran that show because people loved that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
okay.
Amazing.
Well, there you go. So that's who's in the movie, Drew. So
that might just get, the cast alone gets a pour it up.
It's an all-star cast for Lifetime for sure.
This movie, unless it completely sucks or I get bored from you explaining it to me, it's a pour up right now.
Okay.
Pour up level.
Here we go. We can only go down.
Sorry.
We can only go down from here.
You can only go down from here.
Good to know.
Sorry, it's a spoiler alert, but this is, come
on. So jumping into the movie, we start off, someone is being dragged by their arms, on the ground, and they are wearing the cutest little fuzzy slippers. That was the main thing I noted. And we see Miss Vivica is playing a detective, and she walks into the house, and she's no nonsense, no, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's at the beginning of the movie.
She's just Vivica A Foxing it.
Yeah.
Detective.
She like looks like a detective.
Detective Jones.
She got the badge.
It's taken her a long time to actually believe that there's something going on. Like this is like the one part of the movie where she decides she's actually a detective, you know, and she's in detective mode, because for most of it she isn't doing any work.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know, she's like just there, like not even like typing on anything. She's just like leaning with like her badge and like a real actor would, you know. If I was hired to be a detective, I would probably want a pen, a notepad, a badge, and like a nice suit.
And I think in real life, when you're a detective, it is mostly just like desk work. Like it's not really going around being like, oh my God, it's horrible. This death scene is. It's just taking all these notes and talking to people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how interesting could a detective be? But Miss Vivica finds a way to make it at least look cool. You know?
Yeah. She makes it.
So we have our protagonist. We have Ashley. And she has her fiance, Brad. And they hear a noise downstairs. And there's like a hooded figure in their house, of course. So Brad gets his golf club, and they like walk around very slowly, and they call the cops, and Miss Vivica's like there, and she's like, "Oh, you just left the door open. Don't worry." You know?
Yeah. She's not really supportive of any of their concerns. Like, it takes her a very long time to believe them, which I kind of appreciated, like total gaslighting from the detective from a lot of the movie.
Oh, yeah. And she's like, really just like, don't worry about it. Like, you guys are stupid. Like, this is on you. And it's like the best detective like that I would want to see, like not caring at all.
Yeah,
you know?
No. She was like, you interrupted me. I was in the middle of something. Go figure it out.
Yes. So Brad is like very busy at work. He like is working on a merger, and we don't learn anything really about the business or what the merger is or whatever.
Yeah, it's business.
It's just business.
Merger.
It's business talk. It's very much like a Hallmark thing where they're gonna land the big promotion. This is like, you gotta work on the merger. But Jackee, Jackee Harry is his boss, so she's serious about the merger, and she just like sits there and she's like, merger, merger, merger. I need you to work harder and longer hours, basically.
Yeah, she manages to like say all these, and then she weaves in all of these like digs at his personal life, and her idea of boundaries is very funny. Like, she'll say, "Oh, I know that you're getting married, which is great, but also don't let that get in the way of the fact that you have to work 24/7." So he keeps using that as an excuse as to why he is like the most errant and, I don't know, useless fiance. He's not really involved because of his really intense boss.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's just basically an excuse, Drew, to have him miss all the like murdery wedding planner stuff that's about to happen.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So Ashley,
I wouldn't want to have anything to do with that either.
Well, exactly. I mean, you just had a wedding like in December in the Bahamas. So, you know, you had the...
I don't want to...
Yeah, you just had sandals do it all. So...
Have sandals do it.
Sandals do it. Not a sponsor, by the way.
It would have been a better wedding if Sandals had just planned their wedding instead of Mandy Raines.
There you go.
As happens in the movie.
Yes. So Ashley has a BFF, Clarissa, who is our BIPOC in the movie, and she has a very hot fiance. Oh, I wish I wrote his name down. I didn't like pull this up.
I think it's hot fiance.
Yeah, he's like,
it's just hot.
He's
fiance.
extremely hot, whoever he is, and she's like trying on wedding dresses and whatever. And then they go to like a cocktail party, and Ashley meets the wedding planner. Her name's Mandy, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I'm the wedding planner. It's so nice to meet you." They talk about like a poisonous flower for like 20 minutes. I don't know what the flower was, but it's like poisonous, and Ashley's just like, cool, well, that's cool about a poison flower. Do you want to plan my wedding? And Mandy's like, yes, I will. No rate is too low. I'll do it for free, basically, which is like a red flag, you know?
And so is talking about a poisonous flower for 20 minutes. Like, her entire being is a red flag waving in the wind.
Yes.
So do you want, so when we're talking about, so all your flowers, do you want any poisonous flowers? That's my first question. Do you want them to be poisony, like super poisony, or less poisony?
Right.
That's the question that I have. So just think on that. Figure it out. I give you here's a
And you know, that's
catalog.
probably the wrong wedding planner. If we're just gonna say it like flat
I think
out.
I think they got the wrong wedding planner already.
You know, she should have chose J-Lo, but instead she chose Mandy. So here we are, working with Mandy. So,
although J-Lo would have stole that fiance, though.
oh, you're right.
She would have.
J-Lo would have.
Well,
I've
that's what
never
Mandy
seen the
wants
wedding
to do.
planner. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It is what she wants to do. And
Mandy wants that guy.
Mandy stops by for a meeting with Ashley. Brad's at work with Jackee, of course. And, like, I don't know. Ashley goes to get some water or something. And Mandy just, like, looks at the pictures on the mantle. And she, like, is fixated on this picture of Brad. And, like, so much so that when Ashley comes back with her water, she's like, hello. Are you paying attention to me? And she's not. And, like, she like has to be like snapped out of her trance of whatever she was thinking about, you know?
Was there like weird music when she was in a trance?
Oh yeah.
She's followed by weird music. Like there's not one scene where there's not an aura of bad vibes around her, usually like displayed in violins.
Yes. Because that's it. When she like jumps out of her trance, like she goes to the bathroom and like convulses and like is like freaking out in the mirror and like slamming pills and crying. You're like, what is going on? But she pulls herself together, and
they just can't help themselves like pound it in that this is the villain. This is the fucking villain, guys.
And I mean,
context clues.
I've never seen anybody like it was like Bloody Mary in the mirror. You know, I'm like, oh my god, like Bloody Mary's gonna come out. It's gonna get her. It was really scary for me. But she pulls herself together. She comes back out and she says something like, I didn't know. They're like talking about the wedding and like the plans. She's like, oh, I didn't know Brad was so religious. And Ashley's like, huh? How do you know anything about my husband? And Mandy's like, oh, I don't. He's not religious. I don't know anything. Never mind.
Bye.
Yeah, she keeps slipping. She's really bad at being a
really
schemer. She's actually really good at it in some ways, as you'll see later on in the movie, but then she slips at all of these very easy points. Like she doesn't need to reveal things about how she knows Brad. She can't help it.
Right. And it's like, who are these slips for? The audience who knows she's bad? She was talking about flowers for 20 minutes that were poisonous. Like,
I love your fiance. I mean I met up with your fiance to talk about a thing. Bye.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous. And then they double down and we get Mandy at home cropping her face onto a picture of Ashley while humming Here Comes the Bride.
It was sinister. And then also equally sinister was how terrible their wedding invitation was. Like their wedding invitation already looked like it had been brutally photoshopped. And then that she was photoshopping it further actually made it look better. I have to say, like
she was better at Photoshop.
Yeah, like she fit the photo better. I don't know why, something about like her angle of her head. But I feel really bad for that couple if that's what they were sending out to their friends.
I know. They need to get a refund on that wedding photo. They need to like call like a professional. You know, I don't even know where this movie is set, but like I'm sure there's photographers that are ready to work, okay?
Yeah.
And the fact that Mandy was humming and not whistling, like she should have been whistling. Am I right?
I agree.
I think that would have been way better. Yeah. It's way better for whistling, like yeah, like, dude, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Don't whistle on a podcast. That's like,
I'm not going to whistle.
That's so rude.
Whistling requires talents. And I don't know if, like, I think she used all of her talents for, like, running around in the woods and sneaking up on people. Like whistling requires a little bit more energy than she has left.
Very true.
She didn't have time to practice whistling.
So,
that's fair.
Miss Vivica A. Fox is back, everybody. She is just following up on the break-in. She's suddenly very interested in Ashley's wedding plan. She's like, girl, how's the wedding going? It's like this is what's great about Miss Vivica, okay? She just like in the movie, she like forgets, like, because I think she's just like a really nice person. So she forgets that her character's like a annoyed detective, and
like a hardcore detective.
Yeah, but then she herself is like, "Oh, I like this actress. I'm gonna have a nice scene with her now." You know,
the director's like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna give you this cigar.
Yeah, they're like,
just smoke this cigar.
The director's like, "Oh, I wasn't really like we weren't filming. Like that was just like a take from backstage, but I'm gonna just put it in the movie." Because she like just is like, how's the wedding? Oh, it's so great. It's so good to see you. And then she like casually mentions that she's divorced and not sad about it.
Yeah, and then the Ashley is like, oh, is this you trying to say that you want to be invited to the wedding? Which is crazy that like this would Miss Vivica does not need to be going to some person's wedding on the weekends. I'm sure she's already busy enough. But then she says a great line like, oh no, honey, weddings bring out the crazies or something, which was just made the top of my list of favorite quotes of the movie.
Oh, that's good. I didn't write that down, but like that's what's so great, Drew, about these movies. Like every line that Miss Vivica says is like an iconic line that is like looking for someone to quote tweet it on Twitter, and then she'll retweet it. Which, by the way, she was live tweeting this movie, and she retweeted a lot of our tweets. Okay, I know. I was like, "What's going on? Why is she like retweeting my stuff?"
You got to read those.
Hey, she didn't retweet all my thirsty tweets to the actor that was like, "I think you're the best, and please date me." She's like, "Girl, tame it. Like this is not a dating service. Save that for your podcast."
This is about me.
I'm single, okay? I want to have a man. And
you want to have a wedding you can invite her to.
Exactly. And wouldn't it be great if like the end game for my podcast was that I end up marrying a Lifetime actor? Wouldn't that
would be a great end game. They're all very handsome.
I'm in.
I have like my wedding
as long as I'm your best man.
Of course. Who else would it be?
But
I guess no one else.
Yeah.
I want you to dream bigger than Brad in this movie, because one thing I struggled with in this movie is that there's so much energy devoted to this kind of like useless guy. He's like the equivalent of like, I don't know, Wonder Bread that's been like left out for a while. Like I did not see the appeal of Brad at all. So I hope that if you marry someone from the movie, it's like the hot fiance. Brad is not a hot fiance.
It'd be Clarissa's boyfriend, okay, or fiance.
Yeah.
So I got lost in my notes. Another meeting happens with Mandy.
You got lost in your fantasy.
I did.
Cool.
You know, we really got sidetracked
cool,
there.
man.
But if any listeners are single and in Lifetime movies, let me know. No, that would be really weird.
No, don't do
I'm
that.
100% not dating right now because of everything going on. So sorry, I'm just gonna like watch Lifetime and drink wine, which is like totally fine.
It's the best thing.
I'm actually living my dream life right now. So this is great. I'm fine, everybody. I'm totally fine. So a meeting happens with Mandy, and Mandy, like on the laptop, Drew, this will drive you crazy because Drew is a security, like internet security guru.
It's my job.
Ashley,
I'm not like a fan of it. I'm not like,
oh right, no, it's your job. Like you're an
job.
expert. Ashley has written on a Post-it passwords to like all her important things, and it's like posted it onto the laptop. So Mandy just takes a picture of it, and now she has all of Ashley's passwords for everything.
Yeah, great, easy.
And to add insult to injury, Ashley gives Mandy a house key, and she's like, "I'm trusting you with my wedding. I trust you with my life. Here is my house key." Big mistake.
That logic there was scary. Like it really shows how much women value their wedding. I mean, obviously, how much this one woman values her wedding. I'm trusting you with my wedding, so I'm trusting you with my life. Yeah. Oh Lord, this was one big commentary on the wedding industrial complex, I think.
Yeah,
totally. Well, and it's just like
it's amazing.
That line is like so iconic because you're like, what are you saying? Like, and this is what the wrong movies really do, right? They take like tech and like things that we take for granted and are like, you gotta be like better about protecting yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like just
that's what I like about them. Actually, they're like, oh man, look how easy this shit is.
The tech guru approves.
It is so easy to do all that shit. You could take someone's identity. It's so easy, guys. Like, you really could do it.
Right.
And I believe in you.
Well, when they give you the keys to your house and your passwords are on Post-its, you're asking for it.
Yeah.
That's another level. I don't deal with that shit.
I know. This woman was like too easy to fool. Like when she did get fooled, it was almost hard for me to feel bad for her because she gave the woman the keys. She gave her the password. She let her into her life. She didn't even check up on her credentials. There wasn't even that moment where it's like, can I see your card? You know, she never asked for the card.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a certain responsibility that each individual. I'm not victim shaming or anything,
sure.
But there is a certain responsibility that we all have.
Absolutely.
To protect ourselves.
Yes.
And when you don't do it, it's like,
just be aware of what's going on around you. Everybody, like, come on now.
Just realize, like in my biz, it's easy to just go. Everyone is garbage. Everyone will take advantage of you no matter what. Just leave it at that.
Yep.
And then go from there. And then everyone's guilty till proven innocent.
Okay. So of course Mandy takes advantage of the situation. She breaks into the house, hides nanny cams all over the place. And
Smart.
Brad almost catches her because he has to go back inside and get his phone he left, just to add suspense. But you know, he's like working with Jackee, so it doesn't matter. But the nanny cam pays off very quickly. We get Mandy watching Brad and Ashley have sex. Whoa. It wasn't like the sexiest sex scene, but it was still a sex scene. So, you know, it's Lifetime. So what more could you ask for?
Yeah, great.
Sometimes they go a little too far. This one was just like, you know, I don't know, hiding under a blanket and like moving your arm.
And like moving, you know, it's like a squid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, who knows?
So
well, it's the ones where you see like thrusting and you're like, gee.
Yeah, tame it.
Okay, guys.
Tame it. It's like Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Come on.
So Brad goes out for a jog. He comes home to find Ashley meeting with Mandy, and he stops like dead in his tracks. He's like, oh my God. I'm going to go take a shower to like buy more time to figure out what's going on. It's very clear that Brad knows Mandy from something, you know, because he hasn't seen her this whole time. He's like acting so weird. And Ashley's like, oh, I have a migraine. I got to like go lie down. Mandy leaves and like lets herself out. But then she's like, I'm going to go. And then she just stands in front of a window and like watches them.
Yeah, she is really good at just being in windows at places. I don't know what information she's gaining from the windows that she isn't already getting on the nanny cam. Like it's purely there just for the big moment, you know, where they can play the music, but it's hilarious.
I mean, basically it's like, Drew, it's like pressing
like
your hands up on the window and being like, hello, please, it's me. Like I'm right here. Like,
it's like that obvious?
It's that obvious. And it was a stained glass window, and a pretty cool stained glass window, I might add.
All right.
That's like the one nice thing of their house. Everything else in their house is like a mission. I mean, their house is a disaster. It looks like a mausoleum plus Versailles plus like a suburban. You know how in like some houses, and I'm from the suburbia, so I can say that, but she just had all this mishmash of signs that were like advertising corn. Did you see those? Anyway, the house drove me nuts, but I did like the stained glass window.
Hey, it was a beautiful stained glass window. I love that in a stairway. Very nice. So Ashley recovers from her migraine, and she's like, Brad, why were you acting so weird? And he like gets like angry with her, and she's like, are you keeping something from me? And he's like, maybe, you know. So then in the next scene, we see him like, instead of working on the merger, he like looks up Mandy's address on Google Maps. And Jackee's like, what are you doing? That's not the merger. You need to get back to work. And he's like, well, I'm going to take my lunch break. And she's like, I don't really approve lunch happening while work is happening. Like merger, business. Right.
Merger.
And
business.
she's like, since Jackee Harry is a nice person, she lets him go on lunch. And he, of course, goes to Mandy's house, and she doesn't live there anymore. It's an old roommate. And this roommate spills the tea, Drew. She's like,
uh-oh.
She's like, oh my God, you're Brad? she's obsessed with you. She's been stalking you for like your whole life. Like when you were born, she was like born next to you, and like she's like obsessed with you. She doesn't live here anymore. I kicked her out because she had a fake job. She's not a wedding planner. We all know this. She doesn't even have an office. And Mandy said she'd kill me, so I didn't want her to live here anymore. And you're like, oh, okay.
I actually thought that she was Mandy for a second because they look a little bit alike. So I had to do some reconnaissance to make sure that this wasn't like Mandy doing like a high level multi-dimensional chess, like dressing up as another character. But no, Lifetime movies are not that sophisticated.
No,
there will be a twist, but it won't be that one.
Well, here's the thing, like
that would be where my mindset would go.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and you can't have two blonde actresses being roommates. It's too confusing. So they should have made that actress like look totally different than Mandy, but it was very confusing. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Cake tasting happens. It's very important, Drew.
Okay.
So Brad doesn't show up for cake tasting because he's the worst. But Ashley and Mandy do cake tasting together, and Ashley's like concerned that Brad's not so involved. She's like, Brad doesn't really do anything for the wedding, and like I'm nervous. And Mandy's like, oh, that happens, but it'll all work out. Don't worry. They're like arguing over the centerpieces again with the poisonous flowers.
Oh, she says some funny, it's such a good interaction. Like, this is another red flag. Ashley says something like, oh, did we get the centerpieces I liked? And then Mandy shoots back. She's like, no, we got the ones I liked. And it's very, like, it's aggressive, coded in passive aggression. And I honestly appreciated that. Like, I might have to take that strategy for my next tense conversation.
Yeah. I mean, if Lifetime teaches you nothing, it's how to, like, shade somebody.
Yep. Exactly. She was like, you have bad taste. We're doing my centerpieces, and you need to get smart if you want to be my friend. Yep.
The funniest thing about the scene, Drew, is that Brad is actually there. He's watching from behind a corner, and he just like pops his head out and pops his head back. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
No wonder he knows Mandy. They have the same patterns. They like sneaking around.
Right. I mean, he basically was looking through a window, except turning around a corner.
Right.
So Ashley like leaves the tasting, and we have Gemma, the pastry chef, who's like, I'm gonna go box up these cakes. I'll be right back. And Mandy then just like aggressively destroys the wedding cakes. Like she like I'm not like, like, oh, this cake sucks, so I'm gonna knock it over. She like gets her hands in there, like pulls it out, like chops a bride and groom in half and tears them apart, and like eats them with her teeth, like bites their heads off. It was crazy.
Yeah, and she also, it's the first time she's brandishing her knife, which is her murder weapon of choice. Like if she was in Clue, it would always be Mandy with the knife in the kitchen, like always with the big knife. And I'll have to say, she was doing to the cake what she wanted to do to Brad and Ashley, if we're gonna be like psychological about it. I think
the symbolism, it was very symbolic.
In a Lifetime where it's like, well, yeah. Yeah, that's
right.
She's cutting.
Well, the best part is Gemma, the pastry chef, walks back in. She's like, "Oh no, Mandy!" And
oh yeah,
it's so funny. Mandy just turns around and like licks icing off her finger.
She's a baller. I'm sorry, but you have to admire her. Like, she's brazen to the point of, oh my God, I love you. She destroyed this woman's cake. And then she admitted to it by licking off frosting from her finger. Amazing.
Oh, she just like stares at him. She's
like, she's
yes.
like unapologetically bad. She's unapologetically the wrong wedding planner.
The pastry chef, like the guy's like, what? What is
exactly? If this happened in real life, you'd be like, why? What's happening?
What do you? Are you okay?
Yes, something must be going on. So
who hurt you?
Brad then, because also Brad watches the whole cake scene, and he like pops his head in, pops it up. He follows her to her apartment wherever she's staying, and he's like, we need to talk. And she's like, come on in, let's do this. And they were apparently a couple, and she lied to him and told him that she was pregnant, or did she? I don't know if she was really pregnant.
Classic.
And she's like crying, and she's like, "Why did you leave me for Ashley?" And it's like a whole mess, you know?
The timeline of their relationship is impossible to figure out. I saw the
Yeah.
movie twice. I really tried to know, was she actually pregnant? Was she lying? Did he leave her for Ashley? They were engaged at some point. Like,
They
neither of
dated
them
in
is
college.
honest. Yeah, they didn't. Like, it's also impossible to know how old Brad is. He looks like 48. If you told me he was 32, I'd believe you. None of their ages make sense, so it's very hard to know what actually took place in that conversation.
Right.
And it's important, but it doesn't make sense.
Well, because in a typical Lifetime movie, these characters would be ingenues, but they are like all pushing like 40. They're probably like Drew's age, not me, because I'm like 22 now, right? What do I re-age myself to now?
I think you just turned 20.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I'm feeling 22 or 20. Anyways, Brad. It's like
they're all pushing 40. Then.
Yeah, Brad's realizing that he is in trouble. They go on a double date with Clarissa and her hot fiance, aka my future husband, and Clarissa just flat out is like, "Mandy, who? That's not my wedding planner."
She does some real good mean girl transition. She's like, "Mandy, I don't know her." Like, I liked it. She definitely was judging her friend for this Mandy business.
Yeah, because Ashley's like, "Thanks for the recommendation of Mandy, your wedding planner," and Clarissa's like, "The fuck are you talking about? I don't know who that is."
Wait, her wedding planner is named Bella Schwartzberg or something, and she's the same wedding planner that her mother and grandmother used. Like, she's like been in the family. She's like an heirloom.
What a weird
Bella Schwartzberg.
Yeah, what a weird
like that.
detail. I love it. It's so funny. But Brad is like, "Okay, Ashley, I have something to tell you. I didn't think it was relevant to bring up, but I used to date Mandy." And it's like,
Yeah.
You didn't think it was relevant? Come on, man, you suck.
That was the best line. I don't think it was relevant, but yeah, I was engaged, and yeah, she lied to me about being pregnant. But like, my past doesn't matter. My life starts when I met you, which is such a good line to avoid all responsibility.
It was so frustrating. And Ashley, of course, is like, "I'm going to sleep in the guest room, blah, blah, blah." But he follows her and he apologizes and she forgives him in like the next scene, Like, no consequences ever happen in a Lifetime movie for men. It's like, oh, you did this terrible thing. Oh, that's fine. I forgive you now.
Or you just like, you lied about it's like, although I'll give it that. It was like where they made it where he didn't see her until later on, and he's like, "Ooh,
sure.
Can I just say one thing?"
But like,
Can I
if you
just
were
say this one
stalked by
thing?
this woman and she really messed up your life, like, that is relevant information.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, I could also see being like, I want to stay out of it, but I also don't want to stay.
Yeah.
like if you're just, if you're just a fucking like, if you're a fiance who is like, I'm not part of the wedding. You do the wedding. I'm not part of it. I got to work. And you just realize like, oh shit, I should have been. Shit. Oh shit. Fuck.
Okay. Well,
hey, by the way, this one.
Well, maybe you should have been
cut that
Brad.
out.
You should have been Brad in this movie because then it would have been so much better.
Definitely. Brad has a lot of blood on his hands.
Yeah, he really let me down. Was not rooting for Brad at all in this movie. Miss Vivica A. Fox is back again. She is now looking into like calls and messages that are coming from Mandy, like harassing messages to Ashley, and like Ashley calls her a bitch on like a voicemail or something. And my TV froze at this point on the airing on Lifetime, so I don't really know what happened in this part.
From what I remember, she tells her like, "Oh, there isn't." She said something like, "There isn't enough here to build a court case. Any first-year law school student could tell you that." This is like the second time that Miss Vivica A. Fox shoots down Ashley for being afraid of anything. So yeah, it's yet another conversation where she says the problem doesn't exist.
Well, there you go.
Dang it.
So the hooded figure from the beginning of the movie murders Gemma, the cake baker person, for no reason. Racy pictures of Ashley leak online and are sent to like the priest that's doing their wedding and like all of Brad's coworkers. And Brad gets suspended from work from Jackee because she's like, this is not going to fly. Like, I have the merger to think about.
We just got to think about the merger.
And
the business merger.
This is when Brad was dead to me forever. He was like, I'm going to sue you, Jackee Harry. And I'm like, you do not sue Jackee Harry, okay?
Mm-mm.
Ever. You do not. She's a TV movie royalty, okay? Like, this woman has been in so many Christmas movies. I need her to be the boss, okay? Who's the boss? Jackee Harry's the boss.
I like that she cites the moral clauses in our contract. Like these sort of, they're not even racy photos. They're like very PG lingerie photos. I understand why like the situation is embarrassing, but it was really funny. Like it was like sort of Hallmark movie values were suddenly transplanted into this Lifetime movie very briefly.
It's like Mandy Moore in Walk to Remember when her face gets photoshopped on like the naked body, but it's just like somebody like in a bathing suit.
Yes, exactly. It was like they called it really racy, and it was just, you know, kind of like at things you'd see in a magazine, like that your grandma would have in her bathroom. Yeah. It was not that bad.
She showed her shoulders.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Too much.
So Brad and Ashley are realizing that things are getting out of hand. They go to Miss Vivica and say like, we were hacked, and she has a tech specialist. And Drew, this tech specialist, has glasses, so we know he knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. He talks about tech things for a good 5 minutes here. I didn't write anything about them because I was like, Drew will I should have like wrote a monologue and read it to you, but like you could probably disprove everything he's saying because it's just jargon, just tech jargon.
Yeah. Where it's just like that type of thing was like enhance. If you enhance this, enhance.
Yes.
The word enhance is not a thing. You can't do that. You can't do it. You can't make a picture that has already been taken better than it was taken at.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. You can't do it.
It made me laugh that he did something. He was just like explaining how Mandy hacked into their computers, and it was, I don't remember the words that he used, but it was like a key tracer or something, and he was trying to explain what a virus was, and it's almost like he looked into the camera and he said, unlike what you've seen on TV, most viruses are la 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 la. It was literally like you're learning from this movie, and I'm here to teach you, baby boomers. It was so great.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, but you know, maybe we need this. Maybe we need a little PSA.
Yeah,
a little tech PSA. It sounds like they're kind of doing that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, totally. So Miss Vivica, she investigates and goes to Mandy's property. She's a detective, not just a queen of Lifetime. You know, let's not forget. But she learns from the landlord, who is, or whoever he was, the maintenance guy, that Mandy didn't pay the lease, like skipped out on her lease and blah, blah, blah. So she's just gone. Where did she go? She's just like looking through the window again, you know? Like we're getting towards like the end of the movie. Like it's time to get it going.
She left her lease to become a forest creature. So that guy, though, that was Greg.
Okay.
That was Mark.
Got it. So a locksmith comes over, Drew, and we, you know, talk about in these wrong movies where, you know, there's like a little bit of like sexiness. So he's like our character who we're going to get a sexiness from. So he installs the security cameras, tells Ashley all about them. Then he goes home, strips naked, lifts heavy weights shirtless for no reason. And then he gets murdered in the shower a la Psycho. And this is when I wrote, this is the wrong shower scene. I need to see Andrew Rogers. I wrote the name here. Andrew Rogers in a shower scene, winky face. Not this locksmith person, you know?
It's so funny that sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, not yep.
It's so funny that she murders him instead of just taking the key off of the table, which she could have done because he was distracted by the shower. Like, all she had to do, she was already somehow in the house. They don't explain how she got in the house, but the murdering was a lot more of an effort. If she had just taken the key, I almost would have admired her, because that would have been she would have been the right criminal for the job. She's the wrong criminal for the job.
Yeah, that seems like a way overkill on that one.
Literally overkill.
He was just a dude installing things. He's like, oh, this is how it works. And
exactly.
Anyway.
And he was just sweaty from his workout, and he wanted to just, take a shower, a sexy shower on camera for his friends and everyone to see.
Poor Andrew Rogers.
That's Andrew Rogers is the guy who I want the shower scene to happen. This guy I didn't write down his name because I was so mad. Sorry, Locksmith. I'm sure you're a great person. And you took a shower scene for a lifetime, so good for you. I mean,
you took it on the chin.
Yeah, a girl can only dream. Like, where's my shower scene? So Mandy breaks into Ashley and Brad's house, and she tells Ashley that she is sick of losing, to a whore like Ashley. She's like, "You're a whore," which is so rude.
So rude.
We don't call each other whores in 2020 unless we're doing like a Golden Girls joke and we're calling like your friend like a walking mattress. Like that's funny. But like a whore, just a whore with no punchline? Come on, try harder. Try harder, Mandy.
Yeah, come on.
Watch some Golden Girl reruns, okay? Blanche is called a whore in not that term.
There were more accurate insults. She could have said, like, I don't want him being with some bland person or a really gullible, person who's super easy to fool and has no personality. But she honestly didn't even seem like a whore at all. It's just inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just inaccurate. Did he say that?
Right.
She's not a whore. I'm not paying her.
No, Ashley this is... This is when Ashley gets like knocked out and then she's getting dragged, remember, in her little cute slippers. We're at the beginning of the movie now. So she gets tied up by Mandy and she tells her that Brad left her when she was pregnant. But he said he always wanted kids. She's like trying to make her case of like why she's acting like this like outrageous person. But it really doesn't explain anything.
No, it makes it more confusing because she changes the story and it also doesn't make sense. Like, what is she doing? She kind of lays out her motive. She doesn't want Brad marrying this woman, but there's no way that Brad would ever marry her. So it doesn't make sense what her end game is. I guess just to destroy Brad's happiness.
Yeah.
I guess that's more realistic in a way.
That's true.
Right?
And like, also like Brad doesn't care about either of these women, so like they're like having this whole thing about him and he's just like working on the merger.
Yeah, all this for Brad. This is a lot of effort. Mandy and Ashley should have run away together and like started a wedding business.
Exactly. That would be the wrong wedding planner. So Brad comes home, he pours himself a big old glass of vodka, which I know Drew would appreciate, and he like meanders around the house. And Ashley's upstairs, like, trying to untie herself. He goes to bed and, like, lies down. He, like, gets in his bed. He gets all snuggled up. And then Mandy pops out from under the blanket. And she's like, it's me, not Ashley. And he's like, what the hell?
What?
Yeah, she's, like, in bed. She pulls out her knife, her trusty knife. I think it's, like, a cake knife. Did I make this up?
It is a huge knife. I don't know what it is. It looks like a knife that only like a very specialized kind of chef would use. Like
a
kitchens don't have this knife. Special kitchens do.
And she's like, I love you, and like you shouldn't have left me, blah blah blah. And as she's like gonna stab Brad, Ashley unties herself, grabs a hammer, and then like knocks her in the head.
Yeah.
Like
that'll do it.
Like the Beatles, like Maxwell's silver hammer. It's like Ashley's silver hammer, except it's not silver. And I don't really know any more words from the song except Maxwell's silver hammer. So that's the end of that story.
Well, actually, Maxwell Silverhammer goes, like, he kills everybody, and Ashley fails to finish the job with Mandy. Mandy does not die. So Maxwell would have been the better person in this situation.
There you have it. So Miss Vivica A Fox runs upstairs. Mandy's gone. She comes backstairs. She says, well, I guess you chose the wrong wedding planner. And you're like, yeah. Yeah, the title of the movie.
She said that?
Yeah.
She said it?
That's for real.
Okay.
That's not me being sassy. She really says that, and it's great. Like her delivery of the title of the movie always is like, you're like, yes, more.
Mm-hmm.
And she blames Ashley, which is so great. That's like the best part. She's like, you picked the wrong wedding planner.
Yes.
You know, Mandy is a problem, but so are you, girl.
Yes, nobody is faultless here. Like, that's why it's so great, because Miss Vivica is like the moral compass of everything. She's like, you suck, and I'm awesome, and I'm gonna go. So she leaves.
And goodbye.
The wedding happens. Ashley and Brad kiss, and we're like in like a church or whatever. And then I swear to God, Drew, this is like ridiculous. You see a woman with like a black wig. Like, you know, Lifetime and their wigs, they're terrible. This is no exception. She has a black wig and like a little floppy hat on, and like one of the party guests is like, "Oh my God, isn't it beautiful?" And Mandy's like, "Yeah, it is." And it's Mandy in a black wig and a hat.
She looks like, do you guys watch Schitt's Creek? She looks like the mom in Schitt's Creek. Like,
when she wears.
She really does.
Yes, that's amazing.
That's fantastic.
It was so funny, and I'm like,
and it just ends.
And
it just ends.
And then it just ends. It's like, okay, she's not done, you know.
Yeah.
So,
she's got a lot more. She's gonna be a lot more wrong. Whatever.
The wrong wedding guest. The wrong preschool teacher. The wrong college admission scandal. The wrong. I mean, this one could go on forever. We could follow their whole lives.
Great.
Yeah, because I think Ashley would keep falling for her. It's like a cartoon when the good guy keeps getting foiled by the bad guy over and over, or vice versa. Like, I really think Ashley, I could see her not ever wising up to this woman.
This is Wile E. Coyote, Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Runner.
absolutely.
Same shit.
So, okay.
She's like setting charges on a bridge, like ding, ding.
So on the podcast, we either pour it up or put a cork in it. Let's start with Drew this time. What are you going to do to this movie?
Oh, I'm pouring it up, son. It did not get. It just got better. The fact that mainly, so there's the main three things: Vivica A. Fox, right?
Yeah.
We got fucking Jackee. And we got fucking Greg Sestero, which is the bonus of this.
Bonus.
It wasn't described as much, but enough to be that just the fact he was in it, got it, nailed it. And this is fun. This is just a fun little jam. Hit all the tropes. Great. Pouring it up.
Wonderful. Okay, and then what are we thinking?
I definitely pour it up. I think it's a fascinating meditation on the Shakespeare quote, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned," or a wedding planner scorned. I mean, I just thought this was so fun, and it was so much better to watch the second time because I could pay attention to the details, which didn't make any sense. So for me, this is just a great movie, and I wish Vivica A. Fox played all on-screen detectives because she really she's good. She gets it.
She gets it.
Fucking gets
well, and that's the thing. Like, these movies don't have to make sense. The details don't really have to add up. As long as we get our crazy line at the end, we're happy. So pour it up for me, of course, with Miss Vivica A. Fox. We were talking in our interview about Miss Vivica A. Fox playing a villain. So, like, let's make that happen because that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that needs to be the end of the series or whatever, which I don't think she'll end it anytime soon. But where she plays a villain at Christmas, and it's called The Wrong Christmas.
The wrong Santa Claus.
The wrong Santa.
That's what I want.
Or the wrong Mrs. Claus. Anything the wrong.
I love it. Wonderful.
The wrong elf.
The wrong Christmas wish.
Can I say something controversial too, which I was thinking about this movie? I think that The Wrong Wedding Planner is a good title, but I also think that The Wrong Fiance could have been a good title because I think that the man, Brad, in this movie is a pretty bad fiance. And maybe one of the like running themes, and this is what I've seen in the movie, it's not just don't trust whatever noun they insert And no offense, I know you both are men, but it's also don't trust men. Like that really does seem to be the second tier moral in these movies. So,
we agree 100%.
Well, and,
don't trust men.
Well, and this is why we have females on the podcast. So, we can get the female perspective because we are men and we don't know, we see things totally different than females do. So that's a good,
and
that's
Patrick
a good point.
And I are good men, but we are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Or wait, the opposite of that.
I don't know what you're saying, but I get
whatever
it.
We're rare.
You're a diamond in the rough.
Diamond, that's it. That's what I meant to say.
That sounds right. That sounds
like
right.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So that wraps up our...
We're Aladdins, and
in a world of Jafars.
I feel like I'm more of a Jasmine.
Yeah, we have.
So
I feel like I'm more of a Jasmine.
Yeah, I'm more of a Jasmine. So that wraps up our conversation about the wrong wedding planner. But before we go, we have our favorite segment of this week and every week. What you say, Candace, Cameron, Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace, Cameron, Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace, Cameron, Bure. Yeah. What you say, Candace, Cameron, Bure. Okay, it's time for What You Say, Candace, Cameron, Bure.
Girl, what did you say?
Candace's Instagram, and we talk about it. So I brought a clip today. I don't remember what it is, actually. So I'm just going to play it. So you won't be able to see the screen, but you can hear the audio. So here we go.
This one. Okay. So Mary Lou and I just did Never Have I Ever, and that video will be coming to you in like a week. Yeah! So cute. And now we're making dinner. We have some kale salad and some salmon
that we're gonna
cook over here.
The famous Candace pans. Oh my gosh, I love these so much. I can't wait to get back to LA and order.
For real.
I love that handle.
It is legit.
Incredible.
Okay, it deteriorates into a Candace Candace spawn, so we won't plug her cookware. But basically, the takeaway from that one is Candace is doing, with Mary Lou Henner, they're filming a movie up in Canada right now. They're going to do a Never Have I Ever on Instagram, which is so weird. Did anyone ask for this? Like Mary Lou Henner from Taxi doing Never Have I Ever with Candace Cameron Bure.
I don't understand the combination of these two ladies. I don't.
Oh, so Mary Lou plays Candace's mother in a murder mystery on Hallmark.
I get it. I get that. But I don't understand the two personality. Those seem like conflicting personalities to me.
Right.
Where Lou Henner's she's like, oh, shut the fuck up, bitch. Get over here. Fucking shut up, you stupid bitch. Where Candace, she before she clicked record, she's like, don't swear, I'm putting this on my Instagram. Don't do anything that you normally would do. Okay, we're just cooking. Where she's cooking, she's like, this shit sounds fucking good, girl.
I love your your universe that you've created for them. I mean, I would love it if she was on Taxi, so I think she
was on a lot of shit. She's old school comedy, man.
She's sitcom legend.
Yeah,
and now she's just getting that Hallmark money.
Get it?
Can't be mad at that.
Vivica's getting the Lifetime money. Yeah, this is what they do.
Absolutely,
I can't get it. But they're still in quarantine in Canada.
They are.
Because anyone who leaves the United States to any other country, the countries are like, you can come here, but you fucking garbage monsters need to fucking stay in quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah.
So you have to plan, if you plan a trip to anywhere outside of the United States, other than what is it? No, the Bahamas actually.
Oh, really?
Won't even allow Americans in at all.
That's
not even for a quarantine. They're just like, nope.
Okay.
You can fuck off.
Glad your wedding happened before that.
December, right before it. Right before it.
So wonderful. I think that wraps up this episode. Elena, do you have anything you'd like to plug in the pluggy time?
I think if you guys are interested in books, I have a book Instagram where I put all my reviews and funny memes. Well, I think they're funny, and you can follow me at books and Elena, Elena, on Instagram.
Great. I love books.
I do too. I've been having trouble reading in quarantine. I can't focus.
I have the same problem.
I've been doing, you know what's been helping me?
Yeah.
The audio books.
Oh.
Sitting there with like the audio in there.
I feel like it's cheating. I like to read the words.
Me too, but like it's great. I mean, you still get all the words, and you can retain a lot if you're like playing a stupid game with it, like the both sides are. I don't know. I've been doing that.
I'll try it.
Ooh, I'm actually retaining some stuff.
Yeah, I've only been able to read like really page turner, so like the lifetime equivalents of books, so thrillers and romances. Like it's the only thing that holds my attention.
Ooh,
I only read.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I only read sci-fi and fantasy. So that's only.
Wonderful, Drew. How about you? Anything to plug in the pluggy time?
You can follow me on Instagram at Drew But With Pants. And you can also, if you want to take a little listen to my band, The Limbos, on Spotify. And we're on iTunes and all that kind of stuff, too. But Spotify's the easiest way to do it.
There you go. Thank you both so much for being here. So fun. Let's see. And thank you, listeners, for... I forgot my outro. And thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime Uncorked. We watch these movies so you don't have to. But if you do, we'd love to hear from you. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime Uncorked. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Okay, that's it for this week. Goodbye.
Goodbye now.
Bye-bye.